Silly me. I cannot believe we haven't done the House of Kilian yet. Yes, you can see by the title, I am ranking my 10 Kilian fragrances from worst to best. And if you didn't know, this is a series. I've been doing this for a lot of your favorite houses, my favorite houses. I have a whole playlist. You can check it out if you missed any of the other brands. And this video is kind of what it sounds like, except for the whole worst to best thing. I think you can see through that. As a rational thinking human being, that is a subjective summation. This is my personal worst and my personal best. That being said, I don't hate any of these fragrances. I like all of them to varying degrees. Some of them I really love, and you'll see those later in the video. And it's been a while since we've done one of these videos, so I'm gonna set it up in a way I usually do, but I'll keep it really short. First thing you need to know, I don't own every Kilian fragrance. And I'm gonna say it slower. I don't own every Kilian fragrance. I'll say it faster.
I don't own every Kilian fragrance.
I hope it's setting in by now. In life, I'm sure you've been told, I've been told, there are no stupid questions. Here there are some stupid questions. One in particular, where is fill in the blank Kilian fragrance? The question has been answered for you. So if you ask that question down in the comments, it's a stupid question. Yes, I like to play nice, but today we're being real. Now, if you want to tell me, hey, I love this Kilian fragrance, I don't see it here in the list, maybe you should check it out. Yes, let me know what you love. But if it's not here, that means I don't have it. That's why it's not here. The second thing you need to know is that every fragrance I talk about will be linked down in the description, where I can find links. And with all that being said, let's dive right into it. Here at number 10, I don't hate this fragrance. Even though it's at number 10, I like it. I was just a little bit underwhelmed by it. It didn't do what I hoped and thought it would based on the name as it sits on the skin as you wear it throughout the day. It's good at first spray. That first spray, man, beautiful. Dry down, This is old fashioned. Man, I did a whole video on this, a vlog style video where I gave you my first impressions on camera. I wore it during the day. I did little updates throughout the day, and I came back at the end with my final thoughts on this fragrance after a full day of wearing. If you want to see that video, I'll link it up here. And old fashioned, that first spray, I can't say it smells exactly like an old fashioned because it doesn't necessarily smell like whiskey to me. It does smell very weedy. It's sweet. It's kind of warm. It's definitely very woody. But the problem with this one is that it reminds me a little bit too much of another fragrance on this list that is higher, especially as it dries. As it dries, these two fragrances kind of get really close to each other and damn near intersect. And again, I was just a little disappointed by that. It doesn't stand out enough, at least after those first 20 to 30 minutes. Again, first spray, gorgeous. Dry down, again, smells good, just not special to me. That's old fashioned at number 10. This one might be a head scratcher for some of you guys, but hey, it's my video.
You can make your own video.
And please link it down below. I'll check it out. This is Angel Share, a beloved favorite. I like Angel Share, and I like it more than I did when I first tried it. My like for it has slowly risen over the years, and I understand why people like this stuff. It is a very good fragrance. It is sweet, boozy, warm, and spicy. I get like a cognac or some kind of rich brandy or something. There's cinnamon. It kind of smells like a boozy cinnamon roll. It's a little woody. It's pretty sweet. I like Angel Share. It's so hyped, and I'll be honest, maybe that has contributed to my Heismaning, that it's a word now, because I don't love following hype as much as I can avoid it. Sometimes I will find myself in the room like, oh, this is the hype. I guess I'll give my thoughts. That happens from time to time. Usually I try to avoid it, but moving all that hype out the way, Angel Share is a good fragrance. That's at number 9. At number 8, I did claim that I like this fragrance a little bit more than Angel Share when I did my first impressions video not that long ago. And this is one of the brand newest fragrances from the house. They sent it to me and they call it Angel Share Paradis. Yes, it is a flanker to Angel Share because Angel Share just made too much money. Too much. So much so that Estee Lauder decided we need to make more of it. Make another one. So they made this one. Smells very much like Angel Share, like really, really much like Angel Share, especially as it dries on the skin. So if you have Angel Share, you don't need this. It would be redundant to get it. If you don't have Angel Share, these two fragrances might be worth testing side by side to see which one you like more. This one is a little bit woodier. There's this raspberry note, which ultimately equates to this raspberry liqueur kind of feel with brandy, with cognac, sweet and boozy still. a little bit toned down on the spice, a touch toned down on the sweetness as well, and turned way up on the woodiness. And I just happen to like that factor of it. That's what makes it edge out just this much from the original. That being said, it's a really strong fragrance. Like, surprisingly, it was on my skin till the next day. I sprayed it on my hand in the afternoon. Next morning, it was still there. And honestly, the whole night, it was kind of annoying. In addition to it being new to my collection, that's one of the reasons why it's this low on the list. It's kind of annoying. I don't know what it is. As it sat on my skin after that like 8-hour mark, I just didn't really want to smell it anymore. I didn't feel called to keep pulling my hand up to my face. I actually would feel relief when I stopped smelling it because it was so persistent. But that was just me. I'm not going to say it's a bad smelling fragrance. In that context, for whatever reason on that day, it just kind of was too much. I didn't need it to last as long as it did. So that is Angel's Share Paradis. Let me know if you've tried this one. Again, it is new at the time I'm filming this, so I know not a lot of you guys have tried it yet, but if you have, leave a comment. When I first got my nose on this fragrance, the phrase that came to mind is finally a basic fragrance for me. This is kind of a basic bro scent. It has designer mainstream vibes, but the cool thing about it is that it was intended to. It was intended to reflect a lot of the sensibilities of masculine fragrances during the 1990s, and it does it well. This is Blue Moon Ginger Dash. I like this stuff. To me, smells like this kind of gin tonic feel. There's this fresh, effervescent, kind of bubbly green herbal feel that's sharp and very cooling, kind of icy smelling. I don't get a ton of ginger, believe it or not, at least not ginger in the way it normally comes across to me. It's not this warm, zingy, spicy feel. I wouldn't characterize it as a ginger forward fragrance. It does smell kind of blue, the way it looks. Unfortunately, my wife does not like this fragrance on me. She has expressed that it kind of makes her nauseous because she doesn't love these super blue aquatic leaning fragrances as she described it. She said it reminds her of a very cheap blue aquatic fragrance. I have yet to wear it in the summertime, so maybe in the right conditions, she'll change her mind about it. So I will report back about it, but I do like it. It's a good freshie from the house, and they don't have a ton of freshies, so I dig it. At the 6th spot, this is a weird one. This is one that not everyone's gonna like. It's a very particular scent profile, and I really respect that. Either you're gonna hate it because you don't like licorice, or you're gonna really like it, but maybe you won't know how to wear it because it is kind of weird. That's kind of the state I'm in. That's why it's not higher. I don't wear it a ton because it's so particular, but when I'm smelling it privately, I just cannot help but love this fragrance. This is Verte. Absinthe, licorice, woods. It is like green, bittersweet, kind of syrupy, boozy, fresh herbal with this dry woodiness tucked away in the background, and lots of licorice. Lots of that sweet mentholic-esque licorice. Now, I don't love licorice, especially eating it, but I love the smell of it in here. For some reason, it just tickles my fancy. Let me know if you dig this one. I know it comes under a new name. They may have reformulated it. I know they at least had to change the name due to some lines being crossed or something in that regard, but I've heard that the fragrance is not exactly what it was. I can't confirm that because I haven't tried it. It's under this name here on the screen. So let us know down in the comments if you've tried the new version of it. And if you've tried both, let us know how they compare. Top 5. This one is a classic. This one's been around from the house for a while. It is a beloved scent. I happen to really like it. My wife really likes it. All of that is why it's number 5. It's a great smelling fragrance that's very easy to wear. This is Intoxicated. It is known to smell like a niche version of Mugler Amen. I see where that comparison comes from. It is a coffee-based fragrance with cardamom. Very spicy, fresh, and this nice warm kind of roasted coffee note, but the cardamom really makes it smell pretty sexy in the air. This is night out material pretty much anytime outside of the summer. For me, it's not all that heavy, which I love that about it. It does have a lightness to it. It kind of dances a bit. It's not super complex. It's not super serious, but at the same time, it is still specific. And I really dig the wearing experience. It's just, again, easy. Night out, I don't have to think about it. I give it a spray. I'm walking out the door. I know I smell great, maybe even alluring. In fact, not even maybe. That is Intoxicated. Let me know if you dig this one. At the 4th spot, I'm sure you already forgot because it was many minutes ago, but at the 10th spot, I referenced that Old Fashioned smelled a lot like this fragrance. And some of you guys know where I'm going with this because you've tried both of them. Apple Brandy on the Rocks. I love this stuff. It came out alongside Verte. and I got them both at the same time. I didn't really get a chance to spend much time with the original apple brandy, just a sniff on a blotter years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And this does remind me of that, but it is maybe a little bit less woody. Apple brandy, I remember being very oaky, dry oak barrel vibes with a little bit of this kind of juicy, boozy sweetness in there. This one, a little bit toned down on the woods, has this cooling freshness to it that does make it feel kind of icy, but not overtly, not as fresh as something like Blue Moon Ginger Dash. It does have this juicy apple drenched in this light booziness, some woods. It's just a cozy, easy fragrance to wear. I'd say year round. You can get away with this year round because of its lightness. High recommendation from me. If you haven't tried it, do get a sample. I'll link to what I can find down below. That is apple brandy on the rocks. Let me know if you enjoy it. At number 3, another beloved favorite, and this one I happen to really like. I always have, and it wasn't until a couple years ago where I finally got a bottle, but I remember trying this when it came out in 2017. It kind of took the fragrance community by storm, and I'm actually surprised they haven't done a flanker to it. I don't know what they would do to it. Maybe make it fresher. They can't make it darker because it's already pretty dang dark. This is Black Phantom. Black Phantom is a delicious fragrance. This is caramel, vanilla, coffee, some booze. I get this dark, almost leathery feel. There's something brash about it while being sweet, mouth-watering, delectable, kind of delicious smelling in the air, but bad boyish. At the same time, smells kind of elegant. It's something I would dress up when I want to put forth a great impression, but I would also wear it when I want to just stand out and I'm just going to be kind of casually confident, but put together on a night out. It functions for all of that, but cool weather only. Pretty rich, pretty strong, quite sweet. Heat, not going to do well with this guy, at least in my experience. In the cold, smells wonderful, but don't overspray it because it's super sweet. I talked about this in a recent video talking about sweet masculine fragrances. This could have been in that video. Sweetness, man, when you guys overdo sweetness, it gets disgusting, especially when the fragrance is already strong.
I shouldn't have to say that, but I said it.
2 to 4 sprays, you're good. Black Phantom. I know there's some of you guys that know my taste. You already know what the number 1 spot is, but you may not know what the second spot is. My second spot, in fact, I'll just do them together. Why not? Number 2 is Straight to Heaven Extreme. Number 1 is Straight to Heaven. Man, this scent DNA captures me. From the first time I ever tried the original Straight to Heaven, I was hooked. Man, it just got me. I don't know what it is about it. One of the most unique scent DNAs I've ever tried. While being kind of linear on the skin, doesn't change much, but it is only itself from top to bottom. It is characterized by an accord. These ingredients that work together that, again, don't really change over the course of time on the skin very much. They kind of stay together as one whole scent, and it is primarily patchouli, dried fruits, vanilla, rum, and cedarwood. It's damp and earthy. It's dry and woody, kind of pruny with its fruitiness, but that is toned back behind some vanilla and rum. It just smells so classy. It smells like something you could wear as a signature scent if you love it. Now, that being said, the extreme version, I would consider this a little bit more specialized. I get a powdery nuance out of it. I don't love the powdery nuance in comparison to the original, which is not powdery to me at all, but it is the same scent intensified with some slight tweaks, with more density. I would reserve this more for, again, specialized occasions, more evening out, more formal perhaps, fall, winter for sure, kind of colder weather because of its presence and its strength. This one you can get away with all year round, maybe not summertime day, but summer nights, sure, just don't spray too much. I think it's pretty versatile, again, ironically enough. So that's my number 2 and 1. These are my 2 favorite Kilians in my collection currently. This one I do want to shout out to my friend Jared, who gifted this to me. You've been so good to me and so good to this channel. I appreciate you, bro. And again, my number 1 is still this one. We'll see who tops it. So those are my top 10 Kilian fragrances. Once again, they're going to be linked down in the description. Let me know what you think of the ones I have. And once again, if you have Kilians that you love and have that I don't, let me know what you love in the form of a statement, not in the form of a question.